Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I hope you are all doing well. Thank you so much for joining me again for another angel message and angelic symbol. This week, on the 14th of February, Valentine's Day is celebrated. And in a spiritual sense, this is a day of reconciliation, of opening our hearts to the healing power and forgiveness of true love, as well as of remembering our own worthiness, power and inner love and beauty. In this video, the lovely Archangel Chamuel brings us the perfect illustration of this energy with the angelic symbol of the swan. Let's look a little bit deeper into the spiritual meaning of the swan, and then we will move on to Archangel Chamuel's message for us. Swans exude an energy of grace, beauty and purity because of their elegant body structure and posture, their pristine white feathers, and their ability to swiftly and effortlessly glide through the water. They teach us to embrace the light of beauty and grace within ourselves, to know our own worth, and to feel our own goodness and greatness in life. These beautiful birds are strongly connected to the element of water and represent fluidity, depth, intuition, and the ability to bring forth messages from the spiritual realms. In shamanism, a female shaman is referred to as Swan. With their unique way of intertwining their elongated necks into the shape of a heart, swans also depict love, romance, and soulmate relationships. Swans mate for life, encouraging us to love deeply, to look for true and loyal partnerships, and to devote and dedicate ourselves to maintaining healthy relationships. At the same time, the swan spirit animal shows us how to value personal solitude and find calm during challenging times in order to heal and regain our strength so we can emerge as our beautiful, true and confident selves again. And now we will move on to Archangel Chamuel's channeled message for us. My dearly beloved ones, how wonderful of you to be willing to open your hearts to the words I am about to convey to you. Firstly, I would like to invite you to close your eyes and picture me standing before you, radiating an energy of pure love and upliftment. Allow yourself to relax and rise up to this frequency. Now take hold of my hands that I have stretched out towards you, and feel a lightness fill up your body and energy field. It is not difficult to connect to the angels. It only requires your belief in our existence and your willingness to flow with us. And this is what my message featuring the swan symbolism will be all about. Flowing with the angels, flowing with life, flowing with the duality that you see around you in your world, but also experience inside yourself. The wanted and the unwanted, the lightness and the heaviness, the ease and the resistance. The swan symbolizes the union of these contradictions. Allow me to enlighten you further on this, dear ones. The swan spirit shows you how to remain pure and untainted by the emotional turmoil that life will undoubtedly cause you to experience when you are a human being living on planet Earth. Let me use an analogy to illustrate this. When you observe a swan gliding gracefully on the water, its energy is calm and serene, but if you were to look underneath the surface of the water, you would see a whole different picture. In the dark and often murky water of the ponds and lakes it lives by, its feet are constantly paddling to stay afloat, and it also has to regularly stick its elegant white head under water to find resources of food in the tangle of various water plants. However, the swan is unbothered by this and accepts it as part of its reality and existence. It remains the epitome of self-confidence, grace, and beauty. As a human being, you also get submerged in murky emotional waters from time to time, looking for answers and support on your path, but feeling like you are paddling upstream in a state of resistance and with a lack of confidence, failing to see your inner beauty and find your inner peace. I would like to help you to get back on track when this happens and restore and establish the same worth, beauty and grace in you as the beautiful swan spirit encompasses. There are 3 aspects connected to the swan spirit that I would like you to remember and work with when you feel like you are sinking in murky emotional waters and get contaminated by the dirt of negativity, resistance, and withdrawal. The first 2 areas are the one above the waterline and the one beneath the waterline that represent the duality of life. On the one hand, you are connected to the powerful energy of the universe that allows you to receive clarity, love, understanding, and guidance on your path. The area above the surface of the water is the area in which you are in a higher state of being, and you recognize your own beauty, worth, and the power of your desires. On the other hand, there are times when you get dragged beneath the waterline, and your outlook becomes muddled, and the denseness causes you to feel heavy-hearted and dissatisfied with life. The third area is the waterline itself, and this is exactly the place where you can find the balance and flow between the 2 opposing forces of the first 2 areas. When you see the swan gliding through the water, the surface of the water stays smooth and almost looks untouched. This is the flow that you are looking for, and that will allow you to move through your life with ease and calm. When you are dwelling in a higher state of being, above the waterline, it is the excellent time to build a strong momentum of positivity and faith, because the gathering of weight in the form of doubts, irritations, and unwanted thoughts will definitely happen as a result of you living your life. And this added weight will eventually start to drag you beneath the waterline. It is not the end of the world when this happens, my dear ones, because it provides you with the opportunity to re-evaluate your life and make the necessary adjustments. You are never lost, and in time you will learn how to release this emotional weight quickly, so you will find your way to the surface again. When you can bring these 2 aspects of yourself into balance and appreciate the value of both of them equally in your life, you are able to flow on the surface of the water. You will not beat yourself up for not staying in a higher state of being all the time, because this is simply not possible, and also not desirable, because you came to this world to learn, experience, and expand. You will also know how to make your way back to the surface when you do get dragged underwater, and maybe get caught up in the water plants for a while. You no longer fall into despair or feel lost, because you know that when you surrender and let go, and simply release your resistance, you will automatically float up to the surface again, because the part of you that is above the waterline intrinsically knows the power and love of the universe and will never give up on you, and will keep guiding you back to the surface again. Floating on the waterline is a good place for you to be, dear ones, because it is the place where you embrace all aspects of yourself and of your life. It is a place of ease and surrender. Enjoy the moments of joy, happiness, and immense appreciation that you feel when you rise above the surface of the water, and elongate them as much as possible. But also do not fear the underwater world, because it is there to teach and strengthen your beliefs about yourself and the workings of the universe. Embrace the spirit of the swan by fully accepting yourself and your life, dear ones, and then you will be able to play with the currents of life. You are no longer afraid to dive deep or to fly high. You know who you are, and you know in your heart that you are never lost. Swans are a symbol of soulmates, and first and foremost, this refers to the balance of the aspects of yourself that I have been telling you about. When you can apply it to yourself, you will be able to accept and embrace the workings of duality in others as well, which will greatly enhance the quality of your relationships. Two people who can keep themselves afloat and can help each other to flow on the surface of the water bring balance and ease to each other's life. And this is the true meaning of finding your soulmate. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. I wish you a lovely Valentine's Day, sending you lots of love, light and blessings. Until next time, Namaste.